what's good? It's your boy Humble J, and today I'm gonna be giving you my 2 cents on opening a brick and mortar retail store in 2020. So, brick and mortar retail is an extremely difficult business to get into. It's becoming more and more difficult because rents keep on rising and more people are going the online route, making it easier and lower cost for them to operate. So a lot of the online competition, it's becoming difficult to match up with their prices. In order to be successful in 2020 with a brick and mortar store, you need to do something different. You need to be different. You can't just open up any other store like any other store and expect to compete. You're gonna have to do something outside of the box. You know, it's funny, my store I'm here now is called Outside the Box, but you have to do something different. You have to do something that other people aren't doing. And brick and mortar retail these days, it's all about the experience, the shopping experience. People, they could get anything you could sell in your store, people could usually get online. It's all about the experience. You have to make your store, you have to make it an atmosphere where people want to come there because they enjoy being there. It's not just a store, it's, you know, a part of the community. You know, where they feel comfortable going, they want to go there, they want to spend their money there. You have to find ways to make supplementary income when you're doing brick and mortar these days. You can't just have one line of products or one type of product and expect to be successful in brick and mortar these days. In my store, we sell sneakers, clothes, electronics, exotic snacks, exotic drinks, exotic cereal. You have to find, you know, all types of ways. I'm actually right now looking into, I'm learning how to repair iPhones right now. I'm planning on implementing that into my store, repairing iPhones and reselling iPhones. But yeah, you always have to be thinking outside of the box. Like, how could you increase your income and decrease your overhead? Because your overhead is what is gonna be a killer. Your rent, insurance, you know, hydro, you know, things like that. Just it'll add up, and having to deal with that every month. Some months are going to be better than other months. Some months you're not going to be profitable. This is a thing too. In brick and mortar retail, you shouldn't even be considering profit in your first year. Like in an online business, making profit might happen a lot faster. In brick and mortar, most brick and mortar businesses for the first 3 years, 2 to 3 years, they're not seeing any profit. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind before you even decide to get into brick and mortar. What I say, you have to make your brick and mortar store. It's all about being community central. You have to make the people that live in the area, you have to make them know your store and just accept your store as part of the community. It has to be part of the community. You can't just be another store selling stuff. You know, you have to connect with your customers. You have to build friendships and relationships with your customers. You can't just sell them products and, you know, get out the door. It has to feel like a relaxed environment where, yeah, you know, they could come to your store and hang out. They don't feel like, oh, they're pressured into spending money, or if they're not spending money, they have to get out the door. You know, people have to feel comfortable with your store, comfortable with your customer service. Customer service in brick and mortar That's the number one most important thing. You have to. The customer is always right. You always have to treat the customer right. You always have to make sure the customer leaves satisfied. You always, make conversation. You always have to. You want repeat customers, so you always want to build those bridges and build those relationships. Doing things like contests, guerrilla marketing. You're gonna need, things like that. Going out handing flyers, sticking flyers up on bus stops. All that is stuff you're gonna need to do. Brick and mortar nowadays, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot tougher than it's ever been. It's a lot tougher than any online business models these days. A lot of people won't be successful in brick and mortar. It's not for the faint of heart. If you're thinking like you're just gonna open a store and you're gonna make a living off your store and that's gonna support you. That's not what's gonna happen. The first year or two of your store is just gonna be all money in, like Nipsey said, all money in, no money out. You're gonna have to put all money into the business. All the profit you make, you're gonna have to reinvest it, put it back into the business. You can't even be considering taking any money out at that point. Brick and mortar retail, it's a long term business. You're looking to build your brand and grow over time. You're not looking to just, make quick money out of the game. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on brick and mortar retail in